Hey everybody, it's the Spencers.
Hello, hello.
We're back with Strengthening Love and Sex podcast, and we pray that you all are enjoying life together because we're better together.
Better together.
And we are back. It's been a while. We had a wonderful anniversary
We
month.
did. We really did.
We went to the DR, we kicked it, we celebrated 30 years of marriage, 22 years, pastoring, our birthdays. I'm the double nickel. I can't tell you how old she is because she'll get on me.
I am 54.
54 and fine as wine.
Oh, thank you.
My baby gets better with time, just like fine wine. And we are glad to be back with you on this podcast. We thought we would talk today, about prioritizing your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
If you are going to make your relationship work, you're going to have to prioritize it. Right, babe?
Absolutely. And the thing about prioritizing your relationship, you have to put each other 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about this time that you're spending together, the quality time, but it's more than just spending that quality time together. It's really being intentional with it.
Yeah, you hear a lot of people say stuff like, my spouse is the most important thing to me. Well, if that's the case, then you have to make sure that you prioritize that relationship because whatever is important to you, you make time for it.
Mm-hmm.
If our work is important. So we get up, we go to work. Or working out may be important. So you set the alarm clock, you get up early, and you go work out. Going to get your hair done is important to you. So you put that beauty shop appointment on your schedule. If your relationship is important, why not make sure you prioritize it? People often look at other couples and say, I want their relationship. They look so happy. I want their relationship. Or you might see somebody like, I want their body. They cut up, they're physical, they're physically cut, they look good. They put some time in it, and if you're going to get what other people got, you got to do what other people did.
Right, you got to put the work in.
You got to put the work in. So we're going to talk just briefly with you about how you prioritize your relationship. It's ironic that tonight we just got back from date night, and my wife was looking so beautiful. I said, you know what? Let's just go on and let's talk to the people real quick about prioritizing relationship. So tonight we went out with some friends. We had dinner. Really nice restaurant, great conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really, I don't know for you, babe, it was really refreshing for me to be able to sit with a couple and just have a conversation with another couple in ministry who had similar goals, were similar ages, in a similar stage. And it was just refreshing to hear their stories that correlated to our stories. And it just made me feel relaxed. It made me feel not alone in the world as a couple. And and so I think date night for us always is a way for us to keep our relationship fresh.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a way that we connect on another level outside of our busy schedule, our work schedule, dealing with other priorities, dealing with family, dealing with ministry. It's a time for us just to be,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
What does it look? What does your calendar look like? I think it's important that every couple has a calendar that you put time for each other in that calendar. Date night for us, it's Friday, right? I got to get permission from my wife before I add anything to my Friday night because that's her time. Really all day Friday. Like we went to the mall this morning. I went and got my hair cut. I went to the mall. My wife she tried to get a piercing for her ear where she has migraines. And I went with her to that. And then we came home. We changed clothes and went out on a date. But Friday is our date. So get your calendar and prioritize. What's some other things they need to prioritize?
The thing that I would think you would need to prioritize is one, you got to start thinking about it. Some of the things that you want to do when you have your date night, and to make sure that you both are in doing things that you want to do, things that bring you interest, things that are going to be fun. And date night doesn't necessarily have to always cost a lot of money. Like we have a date day. So we may start off, if the weather permits, going for a walk or a bike ride or just spending time in the park together. And then at night, maybe a movie, dinner, or it could even be at home. Your date night could be.
So date night is one thing we prioritize.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing we need to prioritize is intimacy. You need to take time to spend time loving on each other.
Right.
Because we can get busy. We are busy people. When you're grown,
Yeah.
you got to go to work. You got to take care of kids if you got small kids. You got pets. You may have aging parents. Some of y'all got
Yes.
parents living with you. You know, the roles have reversed. In our 50s now, our parents are getting older and we have to take care of them. But that intimacy must be prioritized. Just let me break this all the way down. You got to make time to make love.
And if that means putting it on the calendar, you have to do it if this is the season to do that.
And it sounds like you got to schedule sex. Baby, if it's important,
Right.
it needs to go on that calendar. Like y'all need to come up with an agreement. Okay, is it 9 o'clock every night? Is it 3 times a week? Is it Monday, Wednesday, Friday? You know, what is our day? And I've been reading this book called Come As You Are, and it's talking about how context has a lot to do with when it's ideal to make love. For example, if you're stressed and you got this list going on in your head or you're physically tired, I could have on the nicest smelling cologne, put on my silk boxers, put on my smoking jacket, play some Lil Luther, have some flowers on the floor. But if your mind is full of stuff going on in your head, you're not going to respond to my sexy advances.
No, I'm going to totally miss it.
But if the context is right and you're relaxed and you've got it on the calendar that this is our night, and I, as your husband, make sure that your mind is at ease so that you're not stressed, more than likely, if we've set the time and set the atmosphere and created an inner context to where you feel relaxed, you're going to feel sexy. You're going to respond, and you're going to like what I have on. You're going to want what I'm offering because the context is right. So in order to prioritize intimacy, you got to make sure that the context is there, the intentionality is there. What are some other things? We got date night, prioritizing intimacy. What's another thing we need to prioritize?
I would say, my favorite thing to do is the communication. We have to prioritize really checking in with one another, whether that's pillow talk in the morning or pillow talk at night or conversations during the day, so that we're just checking in, not checking in to give you an additional item to put on your to-do list, or like, can you take my car to get it serviced, or can you pick up some juice on your way in, but just checking on each other throughout the day, because that's going to also help to set the stage for later on. So if I know that you're having a stressful day, then I can be that soft place to land on, or vice versa.
We used to do this thing called pillow talk. We may have mentioned this on a previous podcast. At 9 o'clock at night, we try to come to bed and have conversations about how was your day, how are you doing, just loving on each other, laying in the bed, cuddling, the quiet before the storm, right? We want to end the night making love and falling asleep afterwards. At least I do. But we also prioritize checking in with the other. How are you feeling today? How's your migraine? How's your day at work? What do you think we should do this weekend? So I like that, prioritizing communication. I would also say prioritizing getaways.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
We just got back from the
Yes.
DR, and every year is scheduled the last week of September. We going somewhere.
Somewhere.
We putting some stamps on our passport. If God is willing and the money's right, we went to the DR, had a wonderful, romantic, great time. Just the two of us, laughing and loving, laying in the sun, soaking up some vitamin D,
Yes.
exchanging vitamin D. We had a wonderful time sunbathing and swimming and eating. It was wonderful. And I think I told my wife, I said, every quarter, once a quarter, I
Okay.
want it 4 times a year, I want to go somewhere because the sex is so much better when we're away from the house. Why do you think sex is so much
I was just
better?
going to ask you the same thing. Why do you think?
I, for me, it's like nobody's calling my name.
Mm-hmm.
There's no schedule.
Right.
We're just in this rhythm of fun and pleasure. And it's just the best thing in the world to not have an agenda and just like figure stuff out. Like she'll be in the bed, sleep, and I'm like, I'm a morning person. And I'm like, baby, go on to sleep. I'm ready to go down here and walk on the beach, give me some breakfast. And the next thing I know, she's coming out with her bathing suit on and she's meeting me by the pool. I got the bed reserved and we lay out, we sunbathe, we swim, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is prioritize getting away. And everybody's budget is different, right? You may not be able to go to the DR, but can you go to Nashville?
Right.
Can you go to Hot Springs? Can you get a babysitter for the weekend? Can you make a 3-day trip? It doesn't have to be extravagant, but prioritize getting away. I would also say prioritize worshiping and doing devotion together, whether that's praying, reading scripture, because a family that prays together stays together. Men who pray with their wives experience more intimacy, more uh, enjoyable sex than men who don't pray.
Mm-hmm.
There is this connection that is important for us to continue to build a healthy relationship, and it starts with God. God is the one who brought us together. What did Jesus say? What God brings together, let no man tear asunder. And so when Jesus is in her and Jesus is in me, it's hard for Jesus to argue with Jesus. Our spirituality supports our reality. So Rhonda and I, we take time to pray in the mornings before we get out the bed, and we pray together before we go to sleep. That's our ritual. We prioritize it because we recognize that our marriage cannot make it without God.
Another thing I like is that when we sometimes by chance read the same book, whether it's a self-help book or if it's something where we're studying to get, additional certification, but we compare our notes and you tell me what you think about what you got out of the reading and I tell you what I'm getting out of the reading, and then we make it applicable to whatever is going on in our life. So I really enjoy when we're reading the same book and can share those notes.
Prioritize recreation. It's important to take care of our temples,
Oh yes.
our bodies. And you said earlier, walking together. One of the things we like to do is to go to Shelby Farms. It's a park here in Memphis, beautiful park with a big, beautiful lake. They have a big walking track. It's about 2 miles.
It's 2 miles.
It's 2 miles around. And we walk Shelby Farms. We have great conversation. We burn some calories. And we're learning how to work out together in the gym. I'm a gym rat. My wife has her own workout routine at the house, so she claims. She claims that she burns calories by vacuuming and doing her squats while she's brushing her teeth. But I love it when we wind up in the gym together. I love it when my wife goes to the gym with me because we're doing it together. And it's not so much about I want to see her throw a bunch of weight around. I just want her around. I want her around me. And when we prioritize that, it pours back into me, having my wife in. And then I take great pride in having a wife that's beautiful, who's in shape. I want to be in shape. I can't have her walk around here looking all good, and I'm looking like fat cat daddy or somebody. And so I got to stay in the gym. And so we prioritize recreation. We prioritize staying in shape. what else do we need to prioritize to make sure our relationships are healthy?
Well, I know it's part of being married and when you have children, but you do need to prioritize spending time with your children.
That's good.
You know, depending on the age and stage that they're in, each child needs their own time together and alone with the parents. So we need to prioritize that of spending individual and group time with our children.
It's important. I went out to dinner with my son, our 28-year-old, and he's working full time, and we very rarely get to see each other. But we went out to dinner, and this joker gonna tell me, "I know Jaden is your favorite." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Jaden is my favorite." He's like, "Yeah, because he's the baby of the family, and I'm the oldest, and blah blah blah." And I said, "Son, I love all of y'all equally. I love you different, but I love you equally.
Right.
I communicate with y'all. Y'all got different personalities." I said, "Amari, you're a strong introvert. Jaden is an artist. He and I share the right brain. We share the right brain, and so we exchange ideas around creativity. When I come to you, you look like, hey man, quit talking to me." But your point is very well taken, baby, and that is we have to prioritize spending time with all of our children
Right.
because they're all different.
All different.
And how does that play into our relationship? It plays into our relationship because Rhonda and Amari are more similar in personalities, and Jaden and I, and Jordan is probably a mixture
Or both.
of both. And so it requires us to invest time differently in each one so that they feel loved.
Right.
And so that feeds back into our relationship because we're able to share the distribution of love with all our children because we each intentionally prioritize that time. What else can we prioritize in order to make sure that your relationship is like a garden?
Mm-hmm.
And in a garden, there's going to be some weeds that come up.
Right.
And even though there's some good stuff growing in your garden, chances are weeds are going to come up and you got to pull those weeds out. What are some of the weeds that pop up in relationships that we periodically have to take out?
Busyness. We could be busy with things that don't necessarily need our attention. And when we streamline some of those things, then we have more time to spend with those that we love, more time to give back to the community, more time to spend with family. But if we're always busy, we're tired and we don't have time to spend with your husband, with your spouse.
I think another weed is social media
No, yes.
and TV. I'm a very cerebral person. I do a lot of thinking at work, do a lot of thinking, writing sermons, counseling people, and sometimes I'm guilty of vegging on TikTok. And I'll sit on my phone, and it'll be 30 minutes. I'm like, oh my God, I've spent 30 minutes looking at nonsense. And I have to regulate myself to say, okay, let's do something productive. I can't let social media eat into my time with you.
Right.
And I know your thing is binge watching.
Oh, if I'm in a loop on a series, then I'm gonna watch
Lord,
the series
deliver
to
me
its
from
completion.
Deliver me from Netflix.
I didn't say all that
Oh,
when
I'm
you
sorry.
were talking about TikTok. So,
Okay, all right.
so
But
that
you want
is-
to.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. But I know that I have to do the same thing. Like, okay, Rhonda, you've watched 25 minutes. It's 75 minutes. Get off of it. It's other stuff to do.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm wasting my time.
Let's go back to that business you talked about.
Okay.
I think you sent me a TikTok, ironically enough, about ADHD. Like you're doing one thing. It showed a woman doing one thing, and then she's like, "Did I leave them clothes in the dryer?" And I'll see my wife. She'll go from one task to another and create projects at nighttime. I'm laying in the bed like, man, I'm ready for her to come here so I can tear it up. And I hear pots and pans being thrown around. I'm like,
Because I'm a night owl.
I'm like, why are you rearranging the cabinet at 10 o'clock at night? And so she's learned now how to catch herself, and she's
Mhm.
like, "I'll be in there in a minute, baby." So talk
Right.
about that.
So yes, and it's true. I because I am a night owl and I find more solace in doing things around the house at nighttime because everything is still. That's my you're a morning person, so you get more done in the morning. I get more things done at night. I think it kind of equals out. But what I'm doing now, listen to me, is that I'll catch myself. And if you have gone to bed, then I'll come in and I'll take care of you, and then I'll just ease
What's
on
take
back.
care of me mean?
Give you, I sit you down and make sure you sleep, and then I'll just ease on out the bed and
Go
finish
to
doing. Yeah, I
sleepy.
just rock you on to sleep.
Tear my mouth out, leave my gums hanging.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, I love that. And that's a healthy compromise because she is a night owl. And my wife knows that I try to go to bed by 11 p.m. because my doctor told me that in order to build up my good hormones, I need to go to sleep before 11 p.m. so that my body can restock itself overnight.
Hmm.
This one, she's a vampire or something because she stays up at night and sleeps through the day. When the light comes up, I'm up and I got to get up and get it cracking. But we made a compromise. She makes sweet love to me, and if she still has enough energy, she'll get up. But sometimes when I put the smack down on her, she can't move.
Really long dramatic pause. Okay.
What other weeds that we need to pull up in our garden? We said business. We said social media.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you can think of?
Mm, goodness. I mean, there are all kind of weeds, but like for the sake of this, I would say negative influences.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we're not gonna have the best days every
Mm-hmm.
day,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but we are human, and sometimes when we're at work, some of those things do carry back over at home, and you're still carrying it that you can't really shake off right away. So those negative weeds, we need to leave the negativity, or what leave work at work, school at school. If someone snapped off of you at work and you didn't respond in a Christian manner, then we need to make sure that we don't carry that into the house,
Yeah.
because it's not your spouse's fault, and that's misplaced aggression that you're putting on your spouse when you really want to say something to your boss or to a coworker.
To keep it a buck,
Yeah.
this was a challenging week for us. There's a lot of stuff that transpired at work that was very hard on us.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of caught it. It was like, you know what? We're gonna put this over here,
Right.
and we're gonna love on each other. We're gonna make love. We're gonna spend time. We're gonna talk because we can't let this bleed over into the bedroom.
Right.
And so you have to oh yeah, thank you, God. You got to prioritize your bedroom space.
Mm-hmm.
As much as it depends upon you, leave business out of the bedroom.
Absolutely.
Your bedroom is for pleasure. So whatever discussions y'all need to have about work or whatever didn't go right, have that outside the bedroom. Let that bedroom be your sanctuary,
Mm-hmm.
to where you come and you worship each other, where you come and adore each
Right.
other, and where you rebuild what has been torn down from all of the conflict you've had out in the world.
That's good.
Prioritize that bedroom as your safe space. So we just wanted to stop by on date night, and just let you guys know what it looks like to prioritize your relationship. Because oh my God, whatever you put into it
It's what you're gonna get out.
is what you're going to get
Absolutely.
out of it. Whatever you sow is what you're going to reap. Going back to that garden, you got to tend your garden. The grass is not greener on the other side of the fence. The grass is greener where you water it. And the watering is the intentionality that you put behind your relationship. The watering is the prioritizing of date night, the prioritizing of communication, the prioritizing of intimacy, the prioritization of investing in the relationships that mean the most to you, your wife, your husband, your children, spending time, getting away, going on vacation. Because at the end of the day, your relationship is going to be a mirror of your investment. So hopefully you guys got a lot out of it. Listen, we kicked off our first of our 7-week class on Marriage Matters. We had 70 couples with us on this past Thursday in person and about 75 who were online. We had some technical difficulties. We'll be back on track this coming Thursday. So this Thursday, if you missed it, you have a chance to, I know we're full in person, right?
Right.
But you still have a chance to get online. So email us if you want to get the link, and we can send you the link. But we'll be kicking it back up for our second session. This is session 2 out of 7.
Right.
So you still have time to make it. Anything else you can think of?
No, well, I said no, but I do. Just make sure that you are being your most authentic self with your spouse, and that you guys will continue to grow together and spend time together and just keep loving on each other.
I want you to look at that camera and tell the women how to make their husband a priority, and I'm going to close out by telling the men. So what would
Okay.
you say to the women?
Ladies, just as you prioritize things in your own life, whether it's getting your hair done, getting your nails done, working out, going to work, going to school, make sure that you are prioritizing your husband and his needs. Put that on the list as number 2, right after yourself, or right next to your number 1, so that you can make your husband feel like he is the most important person in the world, because he is, next to God.
And men, if you want to make your wife feel like the queen that she is, you've got to show that in your actions. Love is a verb. It's not a noun. And so the way I prioritize Rhonda's important, my wife's important. If I'm in a meeting and my phone rings, I'm answering that phone. I'm going to say, excuse me, this is my wife. I want to make sure this is not, that she's not an emergency. I'm like, babe, hey, is everything okay? I want to prioritize making sure that she gets the best of me and not what's left over from other people getting the best of me. And so I have to make sure that I reserve some words for her at the end of the day and tell her about my day, give her details about my day. I got to prioritize time in my week so that she can get undivided attention and to know that I adore her immensely. So whatever is important to you, you got to make time for it. So we hope that today you have heard some nuggets that can help you to prioritize your relationship. Join us this week. If you need some extra coaching, if you need a community of other couples who are trying to make their marriages work, if you want to go deeper into how to have more passion in the bedroom, how to be more intimate, how to reach those amazing orgasms, we go into a deeper dive with our Eden Circle group, and it's a mentor group that Rhonda and I have, and you can join that group by simply going to theedencircle.com and becoming a part of our inner circle. It's an amazing group of people, and we meet up once a quarter. We do master classes. It's amazing. And if this podcast has been a blessing to you, we want you to go subscribe on our YouTube channel and share this podcast, whatever platform you're using, Spotify, Google, Apple, YouTube, whatever you're using. Share this with your friends and family so that they can take their marriage and their relationship to the next level. We love you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
See you next time.